Manny Pacquiao has fought the world's best fighters in his legendary boxing career. Now he takes on a new fight, the fight to end Asian hate crimes, as he takes on the role of executive producer in this new movie, Almighty Zeus. Its producer, writer, director, and star, Chris Soriano, joins us now live from San Diego, California. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. How important was Manny Pacquiao in this movie, Almighty Zeus?
Yes, thank you for having me. And it was very important for Manny to be a part of this film, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have never been able to share this movie with the whole world. You know, I'm just an independent filmmaker that had a vision to make this story a reality, to raise awareness of these hate crimes. And when Manny came on board, he really shined light, and we shared the same mission.
You star, direct, produce, and write Almighty Zeus. Chris, how do you do it?
Oh, I do it by being very resourceful. You know, sometimes as an independent filmmaker, you got to be able to work with everything that you have. And, you know, we didn't have the big, Hollywood studios backing us. So, but the mission was the biggest thing that pulled us. So, I wrote the script in like a few days. I also, acted in it. I directed it. And, I'm really happy that the final product looked pretty good.
Just looking at the trailer, it looks like it will be an awesome film when it is released in several theaters in the U.S. on December the 2nd. Are you excited? Nervous?
I'm very excited. I'm very proud. I was a little nervous, but then, I'm doing something for our fellow Filipino people around the world. So, when you have that kind of backing, the same kind of backing that Manny has, you just have that hope that all you can do is your best. And this is what we did.
And filming Almighty Zeus, Chris, began during the pandemic and incorporated real hate crimes that happened to Asian Americans. Are you a victim of a hate crime?
No, I'm not a victim of a hate crime, but I've communicated with so many victims, even the victim in New York whose face was slashed. Across his face, he supported our film and said, thank you so much for raising awareness of this. Because when I would see these hate crimes happening, I said, that could be my Lolo or Lola, that could be a family member, that could be my mom. And so those went into my heart when, creating this film.
Do you think, Chris, there are enough films that deal with racism towards minorities?
I don't think there's enough films out there, and that's why, that's our mission, is to just raise awareness of more people of color, Asian Americans in movies. And with those stories, there's a lot of stories that focus on racism. And, I'm even working on a movie right now called The Master Chief that works with Filipinos in the Navy and how that deals with racism. So, and how we all stand together and make ourselves more successful together. So that's my mission.
And tell us about this new movie project of yours called The Master Chief. How are you tackling the storylines and to promote Asian hate crimes?
Oh, yes. To promote more unity and peace, we have to understand the inception of why some of these hate crimes happen. And, as you'll see, the basis of everything is not being able to understand each other's perspective or assumptions on what could be the cause of a problem. And so once we all have these conversations, as you'll see here in Almighty Zeus, you'll notice his coach and head trainer is a Black American. He's an Asian American. And, what they do is they meet Mexican Americans to white Americans, and they find a way to really unify. But also, if they're going to battle it out, they're going to battle it out in the ring.
Right now, Chris, we are awaiting the results of the U.S. midterm elections. Millions of Filipinos like yourself live in America and have voted in your state. And many Asian Americans are victims of hate crimes. What do you think should the politicians do to protect more Asian Americans?
I think that what politicians should do, or more so before we even get to the politicians, I think more so the community needs to work together to elect more people like them in office. And, we're seeing for the first time anti-Asian hate crime bills being passed. We're seeing more and more Congress leaders trying to do more to raise awareness of this. But I think it starts with the community, people like myself, filmmakers, writers, any creatives to contribute to that narrative to raise awareness of these issues.
And speaking about Almighty Zeus, it will be screened in about 10 theaters in several states. Tell us more about these screenings.
Yes, I'm very excited about this because, we're going to be in several states from Hawaii to Seattle to Las Vegas. And it's very empowering when you see another Filipino American or Filipino around in the cinema on the big screen. We saw it with Joe Coy, and now we're doing it here with Almighty Zeus. So I really hope and pray that people will go to the theaters and watch this.
And when are we going to see Almighty Zeus in the Philippines?
Oh, very soon. We're speaking with many distributors now, finding everything and finalizing it so that we could have a big debut out there in the Philippines.
And what do you think will it take for a Filipino production like Almighty Zeus to gain international recognition and wide distributorship, not only in the United States, but all over the world?
Beautiful question. I think it starts with a very empowering message, a message that no matter what race you are, you can relate to. And in our case, it deals with hate crimes, right? I feel that the more we can share those powerful message, the more other countries will pick it up and share it so that they can share lessons from it. And
you talked about your next project, Master Chief. When are we likely to see this on the big screen?
Very soon. We're praying we could get this out by July 4th next year. We're working with the U.S. Navy and other great entities to really bring this beautiful story out there.
Well, congratulations on Almighty Zeus, and looking forward to seeing it and watching it here in the Philippines. Writer, producer, director, and star. He is everything rolled into one package. Chris Soriano of Almighty Zeus.